Hey y'all, it's Cassandra with Pecan Porch Boutique, and tonight I'm working on this cute little table that my sister picked up for me at a garage sale for $8, y'all. And I think it might even be like a little serving table because it has those little indentions and that top part lifts up. But anyway, we're going to start out by cleaning it. And then I'm going to be using several things on this little piece, but I'm going to try to keep it simple. I know that's hard to believe, y'all, but I'm going to try to keep it simple. So I'm going to be using the leaves and these little berries from this mold by IOD, and this is the Autumn Cottage mold. You can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight. Be sure to give your molds a light dusting of whatever it is, your cornstarch or whatever it is you're using, because the clay comes quite moist, and if you don't do that, it will stick to your mold. So next you'll see me just, once I've cast the molds, I'm just going to take them out. I kind of kept them in this little plastic bag until I was ready to put them on the piece. And I'll be using some Tight Bond Quick and Thick glue to add them to the corners on both top and the bottom of this little table. And I'm just going to put them on opposite corners, so just to give it a little bit of contrast. Take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight. Also, because the nature of air dry clay is for it to crack once it starts to dry, a tip is if you paint your molds while they're wet, that will definitely reduce the cracking. So that's just a little tip that I learned along the way. Okay, so I'm going to be using a technique that I've never used, but I've seen everybody use it. And you'll see that in just a few minutes. But I'm just going to start off right now painting this entire table in DIY's Monet's Garden. It's a really deep green. So I'm just going to get that all over the table, and then we are going to go from there. You can still take flight. Although you're earthbound. Okay, y'all, so for this table, I want to try that super glue crackle technique, and I've never tried it, so this is going to be interesting. But I see a lot of people using it, and it doesn't look too hard, so we'll see what happens. So this is, I have some Elmer's glue, just some regular glue. I guess any glue will do, I don't know, but this is the old Elmer's glue from school. Remember Elmer's glue? And then I have a little bit of water in my mister bottle, and I'm just going to kind of spray that on the glue just to kind of help me move it around on the table. And I'm going to use this little chip brush to do it. So let's see what happens, y'all. The shadows of this quiet town. I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. Spritzing the water on top of the glue did really help it to kind of move around a little bit. The only thing I can say is that if you're going to use a chip brush, don't get the cheapest chip brush, because then I had to contend with those little fibers coming off and me trying to pick them up. But other than that, I really like using the chip brush to kind of spread the glue around, because
Because of the way the chip brush is made, you know, the bristles aren't very tightly put together. It kind of gives you these little cracks and crevices. So with the glue technique, you want to put your color down first that you want to be able to see through the cracks. So whatever color you want to be able to see through the cracks is what you want to put down first. So with this technique, I wanted to be able to see this deep green through the cracks. So that is why I use that first. Once I get all the glue down all over the top, I am going to wait until it gets a little bit tacky, but you don't want it to get dry. And then I'm going to go over the top with a contrasting color. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm using DIY's vintage linen to go over the top of it. And that's going to kind of be my top color. It's really going to be my, my top color. And hopefully, and it did actually work out. I was hoping that we would get some good cracks and you would be able to see that deep green underneath. So keep watching.
Take flight. Although you're earthbound,
Okay, so now, for the sake of time, I pulled out my heat gun and we are going to just go over it with the heat gun. You can also let it air dry as well. But I wanted to use the heat gun and go over it and see if we can get those cracks. And you can see already that it's really starting to crack. I was so excited when I saw the crack starting. I was so excited, y'all. So yeah, so I'm just going over it with my heat gun. And, you know, kind of the more I go over it, the more cracks I got. And if you put the glue on heavier, you're going to get bigger cracks. If you put it on thinner, then you're going to get smaller cracks. So you actually can control a little bit of what type crackle you get. So look at this, y'all. It is so pretty. I was really enjoying this too.
see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in a life you never could afford.
And here is a look, y'all, at the top and the bottom. This crackle technique is the bomb. Do they still say that? Is that what people are saying nowadays? It turned out so good. I'm so happy. So my first time using this glue technique, I think, was a success. But we're going to keep moving, y'all, because y'all know I love to layer. And this is just our first layer. We're actually building a background.
Although you're earthbound,
Okay, so for our second layer, I'm going to be using IOD's stamp. This one is called the Waltz. And this came out spring of this year, I believe, spring 2025. So I'm going to be using the Waltz stamp along with my black ink, my StazOn ink. And I am going to stamp those, and I'm just going to use the whole sheet since I have to go over the whole table. You can pick these off individually if you just want one or two or whatever, but I'm just going to use the whole sheet, and I'm just going to go over the top of this table and the bottom portion of the table with the waltz stamp. And that is going to be our layer number 2. But we're still not going to be done.
You can still take flight, although you're earthbound.
All right, y'all, take a look at where we are now. Those musical notes are so romantic. I love this stamp. So the waltz stamp now is on the top portion of this little table and on the bottom portion of this little table, along with our crackle. So we're really building up our background for what's to come.
You can still take flight, although you're earthbound.
Okay, so now I'm going to start doing just a little bit of dry brushing over my moles to kind of bring them to life and give them some definition. So I'm going to be layering different paints, starting off with the Monet's Garden, which was our base color, remember? And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Salty Kiss, what you see me doing here, for a little bit of a lighter green touch on there. And then I'm going to be using some of the liquid sunshine, just a little bit of yellow to add to the leaves, and all of this just to kind of give the leaves more life, and those little berries are going to get some marquee red, and just to kind of bring them to life. So that's what you see me doing here.
Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in a life you never could afford? Even if you never flown before.
I'm going to be painting all of the legs in DIY's weathered wood. But to top both the top part of this table and the bottom part, I'm going to be using DIY's Clementine Transfer. That is the newest design for this year. Came out this winter with the holiday collection. It's beautiful, and it does not necessarily have to be Christmas, y'all. Look at all these beautiful little fruits and flowers, and it's the smaller transfer so that you can use them on smalls. I just love it. So that is what we're going to be using for the top and the bottom.
You were made to soar amongst the clouds, but never learn to rise above these crowds.
You get 8 8x12 sheets in this transfer, and they're just packed with so much color and vibrancy. It's really a pretty transfer, y'all. And also, I'll just say that if you guys are interested in any of the things that you see me using in this video, you can find them on my website at www.pecanporchboutique.com.
Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take.
Here we are at the part where you know your piece is just about to be finished. I'm going to be sealing this whole piece up with the DIY's liquid patina. I'll give the top 3 coats, I'll give the bottom 3 coats, I'll give the legs 2 coats, and this piece, y'all, will be all finished. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Take a look.
Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down. You can
And here we are, y'all. Take a look. I think this turned out so very pretty. And y'all can see I couldn't help adding a little bit of gold. I added it to the indentions on each side of the top, and I also added it to the little brass parts of the wheel. I love this piece, y'all, and I was so happy with how the glue crackle technique turned out. I hope you guys liked it too. Thank you so much for watching. If you would, please give me a like, and maybe you might even decide to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I hope everybody would take a chance to bud, bloom, and be unique. Until next time, thank you guys. Bye-bye.